please show briefly how the brick size, histogram width and TPO size changes the VSA chart. So that we can. So now how do you set this brick size, right? This is the 3-minute VSA chart. So brick size is 80. Why is it 80? Let us go to Nifty market profile chart, and here it is 180. All right. So I prefer keeping it half the market profile chart TPO size on a 5-minute, 3-minute VSA chart, and on this chart, all right, the daily chart, I like to keep it double, right? So here you can see the brick size is 320, so I will make it 360 because now the TPO size is 180. So 180 into 2, 360. So I'll keep it at 360, right? The brick size for VSA chart, and it will look like this. And if I go to this, I have to make it half of it, all right? So right now it is 80. There it is 180, so I'll make it 90. Brick size, see, now the brick size changes, and I can show you how this chart looks. Now the second is histogram width. TPO size has nothing, no bearing on the VSA chart. It is there. I think there is this setting, TPO size. It does not affect it. Now we come to histogram width. So here it is for intraday chart. It is set at 50, and I just discussed that during the session. Like, you can change it, all right? So let's say if I make it 100 and click apply and see what happens. So the histogram width is a personal choice, all right? You can set the width however you want, and then accordingly the charts will be displayed, right? So it's calculating. What is a brick size? All right, the brick size is the height of one volume profile bar. I'll show you just a minute. Okay, see, now when I make it 100, it becomes too wide. Okay, it's all over right from this point to this point. I don't like it. So if I keep it at 50, then it looks, it's a personal preference. I mean, you can keep it at 30, 40, whatever you like. It should look legible. It should look good. Okay, that is enough. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what the brick size means. It is the thickness of each bar on the volume profile, vertical thickness. See, so here, this is the width I prefer. Now, this setting is there also on this daily chart, and you can use the values you prefer. And the brick size is this, okay? So it is the thickness of each volume profile bar. So it is this. So when I set it at, let's say 100, so 100 into the tick size of this index on NSE, it is 0.05. So when I multiply this, I get 5. So what it means is that each bar is 5 points thick if I set it at 100. If it is at 90, it is 4.5 points. If it was at 80, it is 4 points. So each bar, the height of each bar is dependent on what number you set for the brick size. So if you set it too low, the charts, the volume profiles will be very defined, all right? For a very small, let's say every tick you can see how much volume was there horizontally. But I like to keep it at this level, half the market profile TPO size, because then it gives me some consistency, all right? There is no mathematics to it. There is no, hard and fast logic as such to it. What I want is for my charts to look consistent, okay? Then what happens is you can try 100 different ways and keep, tweaking your parameters. This looks better, that looks better. What I have done is, this is fixed, okay? Market profile, how am I calculating the TPO size? There is a method to it. I use the 100-day ATR method. There is a video on my YouTube channel. You can watch that if you want, and you'll get the exact idea how I set it. Companies have watched that video, and they have incorporated it in their software much after I released that video. So I can say that they may have got inspiration from that video. So now that Bell TPO, and we have programmed and come up with this ATR based TPO size. So it calculates the 100-day ATR, it rounds it, and it sets it here automatically every day. It changes every day if it has to. If it does not have to, then it remains same. This ATR based TPO is fixed. It's not going to change. If you are learning from me, this is the way I advise you to set TPO size. This is the way it is going to be always. Okay. Fine. This keeps your charts consistent. So what I have done, I have taken the value from this chart and I have used it in this short-term chart as well as this long-term chart. Simple. And that gives me a consistent chart. All right. So if I go to Bank Nifty, I see, okay, this is the intraday chart, sorry, market profile chart. And if I go to this, it looks consistent. If I go to this, it looks consistent. All right. So I want it to look consistent. I don't want to come and look at a chart and suddenly it looks completely different and I have no idea why things are the way they are, right? So now here it is 520. Okay, so let us go here and we have to set it half of it. So 520 by 2 is 260. Right now it is 245 because maybe a few days ago the TPO size was 490. But 245, 260 does not make much of a difference. So let's say if I set it at 260, it's not going to drastically change the charts. So even if it is at 245, it makes no difference at all in my trading decisions. If I have to be exact, I will change it every day. There is no need. You can keep it at 245. Now this is 520. This has to be 1040. So if I go here, let us see how much it is. So it is 1000. So if I do it 1040, is it drastically going to change and all the analysis is going to change? No, nothing like that. It's going to be same. See, hardly any difference. But to keep it consistent, you can match it with the market profile TPO size. If I'm using the workspace that you shared, I don't need to change anything. Well, no, you don't have to change the market profile TPO because it will be ATR based, but you may have to make changes to VSA charts because it's not an automatic process. You have to manually set it. So like what I did just now, I looked at this 520 and I changed it to 1040. Because see what happened, if you just go in the past, sometimes the TPO size might be a little low because the volatility was low, so it might be 470 or 400, and then if it has moved to 520 or maybe goes to 600, there is a big difference. The charts might look a little different. But see, 90% of what we do, if you are an intraday trader or short swing trader, 90% of what we do is happening on market profile chart. 10% decision making will happen here. If you go to this chart, HVNs are mostly obvious, whether the TPO, the brick size is exact to the point or not. A 10-20 point difference does not make does not create any problem. VSA values do not change according to brick size. So most of the times we are just looking at VSA and looking for a no supply, no demand signal, right? So again, like it is not going to cause huge problems for you because 90% of the time we are here. This is kind of automatic. Here you can keep it consistent by just tweaking some values. But then again, like if I set 1040 instead of 1000, it's not going to change the point of control. It's going to be there only. So this H1 is there only, whether it is 1040, it does not make much of a difference. But yeah, some settings are not automatic, so you may have to change those.